Subscribe to my channel now. Remember to subscribe to my channel. See you. Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel and welcome to my video today. Today it's a video about Benny Lewis, who say that he is a polyglot. But let's find out and see if he can really speak all those languages that he say that he can speak. First of all, I want to say thank you to my subscribers and to my viewers. Especially thank you to my subscribers for subscribing to my YouTube channel. If you're not subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button. So let's continue watching more videos of Benny Lewis. Thank you for watching. Let's continue. So I need to see some of the videos, not all of them. But what I noticed is that he keep looking down. He's not all the time looking at her when he's talking to her. He keep looking down in the middle, like I think there's some table he's looking and reading. There's some paper or something on the table he's reading from. And also it looks like he just practiced and memorized what he's going to say in his video. It's just fake, practiced, memorized and reading from some script. But let's continue and see. I think some of these videos are just some travel videos. The Siwa oasis deep inside the Sahara Desert in Egypt. I think that's just travel video. Travels through along the Nile in Egypt, Aswan. This is just some travel video. Nubian history shot in Arabic about ethnic group in Egypt. But let's take some short fast look at the two other videos, but I'll not show these two videos, just some fast look.
After covering the length of the Nile in Egypt, my next step was to go deep into the desert, of course. From Alexandria I got a 10-hour bus over a relatively recently paved road and finally made it to the Siwa Oasis. The oasis is deep inside the Sahara and only 50 kilometers from the border with Libya. Huge lake in the town. The old fortress in the center of town, Shali, actually reminded me a little of the 16th century drawing of the Tower of Babel. Instead, I found a high mosque with a good view to watch the sunset. Go around the area to check out Alexander's Oracle Temple and the Cleopatra Spring, and to chat to several locals along the way, of course. I found the spring so relaxing that I hung out there for a few hours.
So how can he be studying same time he's traveling around and watching? Like look, he's traveling around in the desert and watching the place. He go to different places in Egypt to watch the place, same like a tourist. He go around to watch different cities and different places, same like a tourist. Then how did he have time to study the language? A couple of minutes in, I sat down for a tea and a brief chat with my 4x4 Jeep driver in Arabic. Blah blah. Please note that this is not to demonstrate my level. Next week you can see a video where I do most of the talking in Arabic, all spontaneous. Okay. You see, next week you can see a video where he do it when he talk in Arabic, all spontaneous. I think the next video is not all spontaneous. I think the next video is where he practice what to say in the video. Maybe in this video here it will be the spontaneous one in this video, but in the next video will be the video where he prepare what he will say in the video. But he say he speak for 2 minutes in Arabic in this video. Let's find out where is this 2 minutes. He just go there for vacation for few days or 1 week or something and visit few places, and then he will make some fake videos speaking Arabic.
But the most fun I had was when I went deep into the desert, surrounded by nothing but sand dunes as far as the eye could see, which I was hoping to get a glimpse of sometime while in Egypt. Of course, it was really hot, and I'm glad I brought some water to drink. I also went down the sand dunes. We were taken around on a 4x4 Jeep, which was a lot of fun when he drove really fast up and down steep hills. And finally, I had a chance to see the sunset from the desert this time. While it was nice, I decided to take this chance to sit down and have a great chat with the Jeep driver, Ali, about the...
Okay, let's listen here when you speak in Arabic, if he will speak good or not. And I'm very sure he also prepare few sentence what he will tell him or ask him.
language they use in Siwa.
انت بقى بتتكلم البربر؟
طبعا اي واحد من سيوة لازم يتكلم بربر. اي واحد من سيوة لازم يتكلم بربر. كل اللغة بتاعتنا العادية يعني.
وزي زي زي تقول ازيك
يعني هو زيك ممكن تلاقيها زيك تلحلنك تلحلنك يعني لما ممكن تقول ايه يعني المسميات نفسها لها اختلاف يعني ده مثلا ووتر بالعربي.
Okay, so he only asked him if he speak this Berber Arabic, and then after he will ask him if he how to say how are you. He asked him how to say how are you. You can see in the text also, because there's some translation there. He will just only ask him 2 questions, and the other guy is the one who's speaking. He just asked him 2 questions. He already prepared. He just memorized and prepared 2 things. Just he asked him if he speak Berber, and he asked him how you say how are you in this Berber language. So just only ask him 2 simple questions that he memorized and practiced those 2 questions.
لكن بالسيوي او بالبربر امان. يعني نيش خصيخ تسوي امان. انا عايز اشرب ميه.
تمام.
نيش انا.
نيش.
سيخ اريد. عايز.
Tamam, aha. He can only say aha, and then he can say tamam. And only Benny Lewis, he only asked him 2 questions. He only asked him, do you speak Barbari? And then Benny Lewis also asked him, how do you say how are you in Barbari? And then now he just keeps saying aha like that, and then say tamam. So he only asked 2 simple questions and say tamam. Tamam, it means like okay or yes, like that. So you just say 2 or 3 things. That doesn't mean that you have learned Arabic. You say 2 or 3 things doesn't mean you have learned Arabic. And I am very sure in the next video that he made that he will say a lot of things in Arabic. But in the next video it will be like the one I just showed you before. The next video will be like the one I just showed you before, that he just memorized a lot of stuff and also reading from some script. It's just some fake videos. But for this video I think he did not have time enough to prepare a long script. He just prepared a few questions like that. Then he will just ask 2 or 3 questions, and then he will just repeat after the guy. This guy, he will tell him some words. The guy on the right side, he just tell him some words in Arabic, or in this Barbary, he tell him some words in this Barbary, then he will just repeat up after him. He's not really speaking now, he's just repeating after him.
تسوي أشرب مية أمان.
Okay.
I also shared my thoughts on why it's
And there was an edit there also. There was also an edit there. But there was some edit. There's some edit here after a few seconds. So it means that he could have stopped the recording. He could have stopped the recording now, and then he maybe have a paper. Maybe have a paper where he looked the next 2 questions or the next things he want to say. Like before he asked him before, do you speak Barbary? And then he asked him, how do you say how are you in Barbary? Maybe he read those 2 questions before he started the recording. Before he started the recording, he read those 2 questions, then he start the recording and ask him these 2 questions. Then now there's some edit. It means that he stopped the video. He stopped the video or stopped the recording. Then maybe he look in his paper or something like that and read the next 2 questions. And then now maybe he will ask him something else that he just read from the paper. That's why there will be some edit after a few seconds. Just look, there's some edit after a few seconds. Actually you can see the edit here now in this picture here. If you look at the video now, look good at Benny Lewis. If you look at his head, then you can see there's some shadow in the back of his head like that. You can see there's like some shadow of his head like that, but it's not really a shadow. It's some blurry, like you can see his head 2 times. In the back of the head of Benny Lewis, you can see his head also, and some of his body like that in the back of his head and his body. Also the guy on the right side, if you look in front of his head to the left side of the head of the guy on the right side, you can see there's something like a head also. So it's almost like you can see their head 2 times. So almost like you can see their head 2 times, and 1 time is the blurry one. It's like you can see their head also a blurry one, because it's an edit, because there's some edit there. That's why you can see the blurry part of their head behind the head of Benny Lewis, and in front of the head of the other guy you can see something blurry like their head like that, because there's some edit there. That's why you can see something blurry, because there's some edit there. He just edit so he can read the next question. And I think on the left side of Benny Lewis, I think he have some paper there or something behind his leg that you cannot see, like he hide the paper there on the left side of him or something like that. That's why he put the camera on the right side of him, so you cannot see the left side of him. I think on the left side of him there's some paper that he was looking at and reading the question.
I also shared my thoughts on why it's a pity people are avoiding this beautiful part of the world nowadays.
ايوه لكن في التلفزيون في اوروبا في امريكا
في كتير مشاكل وبتاع.
لكن في
نيش أنا
نيش سيخ
أريد عايز تسوي أشرب مية أمان.
okay.
I also shared my thoughts on
You see there was an edit there just here after a few seconds. After a few seconds there's an edit. That's what I said. Now he will ask something else. He stopped the recording, then he read on the paper the next question. It's very fake. All the polyglot YouTubers are fake and just making some fake videos pretending to speak many languages that they cannot speak. They're just making some fake videos. First he look at the paper, then he start the recording, ask him 2 questions. Then now there's some edit, like after he asked him these 2 questions, then he stopped the recording. Then he will look at the paper and read the next question. Then he will start the video and record when he asks the next question. Because he cannot speak Arabic, he just read the question first before he answer him. Like he will read the question before he start the recording. He will read 1 or 2 questions, then make a recording, ask these 2 questions, then stop the recording. Then he will read the next question then start the recording, and he will ask the question that he just read. But I think maybe in this video he did not stop the recording because the camera is far from him. So maybe he just keep the recording even when he look to the left side and read the question, then he just keep it, and then maybe after he edit, I think maybe he left the recording running, keep it recording, and then he will just look to the left side, read the next question, ask him the next question, like that, and then after the video finish, then later he will edit the video and cut out when he looked to the side and read. I think maybe he edit later and cut it out when he was looking to the side and reading the question. Just look after a few seconds, you will see on them there's some blurry. It will become blurry. Especially if you look on the guy on the right side, you will see around his head it becomes blurry. There was some blurry thing around the head on the guy on the right side. There's some blurry thing because there's some edit. Because he stopped the recording, then he make another recording. He stopped the recording, then he read the next question, start the recording again. Just look after a few seconds. After a few seconds, you'll see there's some blurry thing around the head. On the guy on the right side, there's some blurry thing because there's some edit.
أريد عايز تسوي أشرب مية أمان.
Okay.
I also shared my thoughts on why it's a pity.
Okay, I put it here also. I will put it now in slow motion also. Then try to notice how much blurry it will be around the guy on the right side, maybe also on Benny Lewis, but you can really see it on the guy on the right side that it will become very blurry now. Just here after a second, let's see. Look now, there will come something blurry like that, just after a second like that. Do you see there? It's very blurry there. Did you see this part? This part is very blurry. I will show the blurry part here again in slow motion. I will show it a few times. Look, can you see how blurry it is? Especially on the guy on the right side, but also on Benny Lewis. But mostly on the guy on the right side, you'll see that it becomes very blurry. You'll see there's a lot of blurry when blurry movement on the guy on the right side. I'll show it a few times here. Look, the guy on the right side, it becomes very blurry because there's some edit. Because there's an edit. It's fake video, edited fake video, because he cannot speak Arabic. All his videos are just some fake videos, and I'm going to prove that. I'm going to prove that all his videos are just some fake videos, same like all the polyglot YouTubers. All this language learning community is just some fake community, just making fake videos, edited, scripted fake videos, pretending to speak language that they cannot speak, pretending to be high level in language that they cannot speak, or that they only know few beginner stuff. They only know few beginner stuff, but they'll pretend that they are high level or fluent in the language. Did you see there was something blurry? Also, I think you can notice it on this, not the play button, the button beside the play button, this button where you can click next. Also, if you click, check this CC. Can you see this CC for subtitles? This button CC for subtitles, and also the button under. Look where the guy is sitting now. Look, this button, not the play button, but the button on the right side. There's a button on the right side for next video. This button for the next video, you can see where it is now. It's like on his arm. Look, the guy on the right side, on his arm, on the arm of the guy on the right side, you can see there's this button for next that you can choose next. If I go back before the edit, I think he is more to the left side like that. I'll try to go back a few seconds and show you. Look now where you can see now the CC is more to the right side of his head and he's a little bit lower. The guy on the right side. Try to look here around this place here. Try to look here at this place where I make this white marking. Look this white marking here and where the CC is. This CC is more to the right. This CC there is more to the right. And then you can see the button under this one. The button is at the end of his arm, like behind his arm, but after a little it will be a little bit more to the left like that. Just notice where he's sitting. The guy on the right side, notice where he's sitting, and also Benny Lewis is more near here, I think, I'm not sure, but the guy on the right side, look where he's sitting now, and then after a few seconds it's like he moved a little bit to the right side because it's another recording.
أنا
نيش
سيخ
سيخ
أريد
اها
عايز تسوي أشرب مية أمان.
اوكي.
I also shared my thoughts on
Look now here, can you see where is the CC now? Is over his head. This CC button is over his head, over the head of the right guy here. See where I'm putting, when I'm doing this thing here, over his head is this CC, and here you can see now the button lower under his head, the button there is on his arm. Now this button is on his arm. Before it was a little to the right side. Also before the CC was like he was a little bit lower. Now his head is very near from this CC. It's more higher up. It's more higher up his head and also more to the right side. If I go back few seconds you will see. Now he is very near from this CC, and this next button, the next button on the right side is on his arm. Now it's on his arm. Before it was behind his arm. But especially the CC button. The CC button, if you look up on the CC button, it's just over his head and very near from his head also. It's just over his head like that. It's over his head and very near from his head. If I go back few seconds, then this CC button will be more far from him and more to the right side. Can you see here now where is the CC button? It's far from his head. It's behind his head and a little bit longer up. Also he looks a little bit more far. Because there's some edit after a few seconds. Why there's an edit? Because he only prepared 2 questions. Like before he started this recording, he prepared 2 questions that he'll read on a paper. Benny Lewis read on a paper 2 questions in Arabic. Then he asked him these 2 questions that he read. He read 2 questions, start the recording, ask him that 2 questions. Then he don't remember more than these 2 questions because he only look and read these 2 questions. He cannot memorize more than 2 questions. He stopped the recording here after a few seconds. After a few seconds he stopped the recording. Then he read the next question and then he will start the recording again. That's why there's some edit, because it's fake shit scammer. Just look after a few seconds, there's some edit.
أنا
نيش
سيخ
سيخ
أريد
اها
عايز تسوي أشرب مية أمان.
اوكي.
I also shared my thoughts on why it's a pity people
You shared your thoughts after you stop the recording. After you stop the recording and read the next question in Arabic. After you stop the recording, read the next question in Arabic. Start a new recording to ask the new question that you read. And I'm very sure you did not read it in Arabic. You just read it with English text, like English letters. It's English letters but for Arabic question. You just look and read the next question, what to ask him. You stop the recording, read the next question, then you start the recording again. I removed the voice now. There's no voice. I remove it because I want to show you something. Now he will say something like television, then he cannot remember what to say. Then I noticed something now while I was looking the video again. When he speak, he cannot remember, then he take his legs up. He will take his legs up and then he will look to the left side. Look, he's cleaning his pants. He will clean his pants and look to the left side. He cannot remember what to say, then he look and read what to say. He was starting to ask some question, then suddenly he cannot remember, then he do like this, he cannot remember. He will say something like television and then he cannot remember, then he will move his legs up, he will move his left leg up and then he will look to the left side of his leg to read. He will look to the left side to read because he cannot remember what to say. He will make it look like he is cleaning his pants, but he looked to the side to read the script. I will show it now with voice on. Try to look how he will take his feet up, his legs up, and then he will look and read.
This beautiful part of the world now.
ايوه لكن في تلفزيون في اوروبا في امريكا
في كتير مشاكل وبتاع.
لكن في تلفزيون بس
It's a pity people are avoiding this beautiful part of the world now.
ايوه لكن في تلفزيون في اوروبا في امريكا
في كتير مشاكل وبتاع.
لكن في تلفزيون بس بس يشوفوا ميدان تحرير
ميدان التحرير
وميدان تحرير
يشوفوا ميدان تحرير يشوفوا ميدان تحرير Oh my god. It takes him 2 minutes or how long time to say 3 words? It takes him 2 minutes to say 3 words. يشوفوا ميدان تحرير تلفزيون شوفوا ميدان تحرير يشوفوا ميدان تحرير speaking very slow. He just look and read the question what he will ask him and then he also speak very slow. Is this fluent in 3 months, you son of a... There are people in Egypt from other countries. There are people living in Egypt. There are people living in Egypt from other countries who have been learning. Like there are some people from Europe or USA. There are people from Europe or USA or other countries living in Egypt for like 5 years or 10 years. And still they are not fluent in Arabic Egyptian. Some of them are good, okay, in Arabic Egyptian like that, but most of them or many of them, they're not even fluent after 5 years or 10 years. And then you want to tell us that you will become fluent in Egyptian in 3 months. You cannot even speak. It's just like Tahrir, Midan, Tahrir. Listen how he speak. Listen how he speak. But here in the translation, the text you see, it will make it look like he's speaking very good. Like when you see the translation, it will write very long text. So it looks like he's speaking very good. But in reality, he's just speaking like this. Midan, Tahrir, Shuf. Try to listen and then look the text. It's like the text he write here, the subtitle. The subtitle, he make it look like he's speaking very good. In the subtitle, he make it look like he's speaking very good, but he's just like Midan, Tahrir, like that.
بس يشوفوا ميدان تحرير
ميدان التحرير
وميدان تحرير صغير
مش كبير. ميدان التحرير مش مصر.
ايوه
مصر كبيرة عن ميدان التحرير.
ميدان تحرير الصغير. شوفوا ميدان تحرير الصغير. he only say they see Tahrir Square. Then after that he say Tahrir Square is small. Only he say like that. And then he keeps saying he speak really bad. He speak really bad, really slow. And he stopped the recording before just to read what to say. Before he stopped the recording and make another recording to read what to say, and still he cannot speak correctly. And then in the translation here, in the subtitle, they will make it very long, make it look like he is speaking a very long sentence. Only he say like, oh, Midan Tahrir is like Tahrir Square. And then he say Midan Tahrir Sghayr means Tahrir Square is small. So the only thing he said is Tahrir Square, and after he said Tahrir Square is small, only he say very few simple things, and after that he just keeps saying like that. He cannot even talk or speak normally. He don't even remember what to say, and I think he has some paper on the left side. That's why he take his legs up, because he has some paper he's hiding on the left side, and that's why the camera is here on the right side. I think on the left side there's some paper there, and I see him look like he's looking a few times to the left side. He cannot even remember. He just tried to memorize few things that he will say, and then he will edit. He edit the video, and also he will look to the left side. I think he have something hiding on the left side of him. Have some paper or laptop on the left side that he hide there. He's totally fake, same like all the polyglot YouTubers, just some fake bullshit people. And he only said 3 or 4 words. He just say like 3 or 4 words, but they will make it like he say 2 long sentence or 4 long sentence like that. It's like every word they will make it like look like he say 1 long sentence. Fucking.
مشكلة التلفزيون مشكلة.
كم كيلومتر بين هنا والقاهرة؟
القاهرة 820.
كم كيلومتر بين هنا والقاهرة? Okay, so you read this question, what you will say, and practice the question, and then you will ask what you practice. You just read 2 or 3 or few questions like that, and then he will ask them, and still he is not totally speaking correct also.
800.
أيوة.
Just many edits and fake, many different edits and fake, and then he just speaking very slow, say few words. He just read before he start the recording. He will read 2 or 3 questions, then he will ask those 2 or 3 questions, then he stop the recording, then he look at the paper, read the next 2 or 3 questions, then start the recording, ask 2 or 3 questions, and he's speaking very slow and say few words. And in the subtitles it will make it look like he is very good in Arabic. When he's speaking Arabic, like Egyptian Arabic, when he is speaking in the video, it's like ميدان التحرير صغير ناس كتير. He will speak very bad. He will speak very bad when he's speaking, and only say 2-3 words like that. And then in the subtitle, he will make very long subtitle, many lines in the subtitle. Like in the video, he just say a few words and speaking very bad, very slow and wrong pronunciation. But in the subtitle, he will make it look like he is master in the language. In the subtitle, he make it look like he is master of the language, and very long sentence in the subtitles. In the subtitles, he make very long sentence and make it look like he is really good in the language in the subtitle. But when he's speaking, he's just like Midan Tahrir, Midan Tahrir, fuck, son of a.
It was one of the most unique places I've ever visited in the world, so I was sad to be getting the bus back to the cities. But I still had more of Egypt to see. which I'll share in the next video. Thanks for watching.
In the subtitle he will make it look like he's speaking very good, but in reality it's just like Midan Tahrir, Midan Tahrir. He's speaking like this, but in the subtitle he make it look like he is very good. Let's see the next video if there's also something like this. Just saying few words that he read before he start the video. Before he start the video, he read the 2 questions, and then he will just only say few words and speaking very slow and wrong pronunciation. And then he will make it look like he's speaking very good by making a good subtitles. He will make some subtitles, make it look like he's speaking very good. This son of a bitch. He just go for some 1-day tour. You know this Aswan tour? This Aswan tour and this kind of tour is just like 1-day tour. I know this like a tour, like tourists, they go there, they'll go there just 1-day tour like that. They'll go there maybe in the morning, then in the evening they'll go back to Cairo again. Like they'll go there in the evening, then in the morning they'll go there early morning, then come back again in the evening to Cairo again or something like that. Just like 1-day tour, sometime 2 days tour. You just go to Aswan, Alexandria like that, and some places he will just go 1 day here, 1 day there, 2 days there maybe. He only stay there for a few days, maybe 1 week, maybe not even 1 week, maybe only 4 or 5 days he go to Egypt. Maybe just go to Egypt for 3 days or 5 days or 1 week, maybe 2 weeks. You just go there maybe 1 week or 2 weeks, and then he will say that he's practicing Egyptian for 3 months or how long, and then he will say that he practiced with his italki teacher before he go to Egypt. It's just fake, all of this fake shit, son of a... This video shares my journey from Aswan in the south of Egypt all the way to Alexandria in the north, all by boat and train. You just take the boat or train like that, and you can actually take it, but now this one was how long time? It's 8 years ago, so that time maybe it took more hours, but now maybe you can go now just for few hours with train, but maybe 8 years ago it took longer time. But still he can do that just for in few days. He can do all these different places that he go. He can do it in few days vacation like that. Just 1 week vacation, he can go all those places. In 1 week vacation he can visit Cairo, Aswan, Alexandria and a few other places in 1 week if you just go there for 1 week. Not more than 2 weeks. You just go for 1 week. You can even go for less than 1 week, like 5 days maybe, 1 week, 10 days or 2 weeks vacation like that. Even 2 weeks is long time. He can just go there for 1 week or something, then he already visit all these places. Doesn't mean that he practice a language for 3 months. Even if he practice for 3 months, he will not become fluent. Like I said, there are some people who go and live in Egypt for 5 years or 10 years and still they're not fluent in the language. And then you want to say that you become fluent in 3 months. Fuck. And it's all fake. All the videos just some fake shit. But let's see this video if you speak Arabic in this video or not. I think maybe there's no Arabic in this video. Here you say this video is just in English. The next travel video will have a chat with a local in Arabic in it. I'm very sure the next video in Arabic will be some fake video also. You just prepare some script for your video. And why he's not speaking Arabic in this video is because in this video he's traveling around. When you travel around to see different things, then you don't have time to practice a video that he will make some fake video. He can do it before if he planned it before, but still on the travel itself, maybe it's more difficult to make some fake video, or that if you speak with someone that, like a driver or someone person there, it can be difficult to make it fake, because he need to prepare it first. If some tourist, if you travel around like a tourist, it's difficult to prepare something to make like a fake prepared video. He will need to prepare with someone in Cairo, like this italki teacher in Cairo or some other one. He need to prepare first with some person. He need to prepare with that person what he's going to say and how to say it and like that. But let's just take a fast look on this video.
Travels through Egypt in Aswan, where the Egyptian part of the Nile begins. Here I had a chance to discover Nubian culture, which you can see in another video I made. One, you can hire a fader for wind direction, and we went all the way past the last. Very sick. Since feluccas don't have any bathrooms, which I really needed, I had no choice but to sail down the Nile on a cruise ship. I got a last minute great price off a local, and it was certainly very comfy, but this isn't quite the experience I was looking for. Then again, a felucca cruise would be much more enjoyable with friends, so I can always come back for that another time. I'm more interested in the tombs. When I reached the peak, I had a wonderful view over Luxor. Reached, and was ready for the train part of my journey. Nice view of the city. The next day, I made it just in time for my train to Alexandria. Only a sight for sore eyes, but also was a sound that would give you.
Okay, let's see his next video here. Nubian history chat in Arabic about ethnic group in Egypt. So a video less than 7 minutes speaking in Arabic, and the one before in 17 minutes it was very fake, and the woman was also speaking a lot in that video. So when the woman is also speaking, it means that if he speak half of this 17 minutes, it's only around 16 minutes, because in the start there was some music, and end of the video there's also this music where he showed a map. When he showed this map, the first few seconds and also the end like that. But let's say 16 or 17 minutes like that, and if the woman is speaking half of the time, so he's only speaking in 8 minutes or something like that, 8 or 9 minutes, but still he was looking and reading from some script. And when she was speaking, she was speaking a lot, but when he was speaking, most of the time he was just speaking slowly and saying few words. Sometimes he say a long sentence or look like he is speaking good. Sometimes it looks like he was speaking good. He say a long sentence or 2 or 3 long sentence, but it was just some memorized stuff. But it's not totally memorized. Maybe he did not totally memorize because he looked down on some paper, so maybe he just look and read from the script. But let's see this next video in 6 minutes or 7 minutes.
Welcome to Aswan. This was my first stop in Egypt outside of Cairo. It's a city in the very south, where the Egyptian part of the.
When he go to the city, then he can sit in the hotel or something like that and prepare a script. But when he was in the desert, it was more difficult for him to prepare some script. But in the city, he can sit at the hotel, prepare some script before he go out. After leaving Cairo, the first stop on my Egyptian travel was Aswan, the furthest south in the country, where you can find the major settled area and where the Egyptian part of the Nile begins after Lake Nasser and High Dam. By far the most interesting part of my time there was discovering things about the ethnic group known as the Nubians, which at one point in history were able to overpower the pharaohs of Egypt, but have had an offense, blah 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 blah. Okay. And to share that story, I let Gasser Manwar, a Nubian working in the tourist industry, take the microphone to share his perspective on it all with us, with subtitles in English and Arabic as always. Okay, let's see how much he will speak in this video.
After Lake Nasser, but that lake wasn't always there. It's the largest artificial lake in the world, created when the high dam was built in the 60s to control flooding in the Nile and provide hydroelectric power for Egypt. Unfortunately, this new artificial lake flooded ancestral lands and displaced the ethnic group known as the Nubians, who had been living there since ancient times. They now have villages with mostly Nubian populations around this area, one of the largest being on Elephantine Island. I met several of them, one of whom sailed my felucca boat down the Nile, and another, Jasser, who let me ask him some questions to share the story of his people.
Okay, so already the first minute is in English. Also, this is another edit. Like subscribe to my channel now. Remember, subscribe to my channel. See you. اشترك في القناة دلوقتي. افتكر اشترك في القناة. أشوفك. السلامة. Husk at abonnere på min kanal nu. Husk at abonnere. Vi ses. Abonnez-vous à ma chaîne maintenant. Abonnez-vous. Abonnez-vous à ma chaîne.